Well, I'm all ready. I'm getting ready for the Breeders' Cup Classic and, of course, the Breeder Cup weekend. My name is Wayne Bolden. I'm the Speed King. We're about 24 days out. And, of course, tip sheets. You've seen the video. I'm going to get a pre-order email out. Please get your orders and your payments in advance by emailing us at speedking24@yahoo.com and or text the office 732-804-0637. Please, I want them out in advance along with payments because we got a lot of work to do over the next 3 weeks, okay? One day is $20. You buy both, they're $35. You know how we do. We save you money. Speed King 24. Well, Breeders' Cup is up here, and we're going to be doing a lot of things. I have a different program that I do, and I like to do a lot of sneak peeks. It's 3 weeks out like we are now, and today I want to do a sneak peek on the big race, right? Let's start with the granddaddy of them all, the Breeders' Cup Classic. There's probably 40 horses. Maybe not 40, but I would say a good 30 horses that are listed, but only 14 is going to be eligible, either through Win NUN or I think they bring 4 nominees in for sure. So 14 horses. We're going to cover probably right now to sneak peek to have a healthy discussion. Let's banter back and forth in the comments as we work our way up to the Classic on maybe some of the horses that you want to keep an eye on in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And let's just have a healthy, classy discussion and a sneak peek at the probable entries. Okay, so we're just going to go through like 16, 17, 18 of the names, and we all know them. And then let's have a healthy discussion among ourselves here in the community. To me, that's the fun of it, okay? We're 3 weeks out. No harm, no foul. So first on the list, or the first thing to realize is that, of course, Sovereignty, I looked at the odds out in Vegas, and Sovereignty is the 8-5, 9-5 line over at Caesars and Westgate, okay, at 8-5 or 9-5. And I guess the next 2 horses in line would be Sierra Leone and Fierceness, who ran 1-2 in last year's Classic for sure. So they're about 6-1. So we have a heavy favorite already in the advanced wagering out in Vegas. So let's look at some of our entries, right? Well, we don't have to tell you about the Sovereignty, right? Well, obviously, it's my Derby pick and everybody else's now, right? It's the Godolphin runner. What a homebred that one is. Obviously, you don't need no introduction there. Now, to be fair, 8-5, 9-5 is a little underlay with the quality of feeling here. Now, I love Godolphin, but 8-5, 7-5, and starting to go down, I know his probabilities to run well and win is high, but we're not looking at 8-5 or 9-5. But obviously, let's hear your discussion. Second is our last year's champion from the Breeders' Cup Classic. That's right. It's old Sierra Leone. Now, we probably shouldn't have took the old smooth Tyler Gaffleone off of him, Chad. But you did it. I get it. And Flavian Pratt will probably be in the yards. Here come the returning, reigning Breeders' Cup champion, Classic, the Breeders' Cup Classic champion, defending his crown from last year. And he's installed at 6-1, 5-1 at Caesars. That is an awfully good price. Okay, he's second favorite at 5-1, so that spread between Sovereignty at 8-5, 9-5, and maybe on his way down as public money gets on him of horse players or players who don't really play horses, just takes the favorite, is going to drive that price down. Sierra Leone, again, the returning champ, and he beat a quality horse, Fierceness, last year. And everybody know I have a big weakness for Fierceness. Was my Derby pick back in the day, of course, and he ran 15th. But he ain't that Fierceness now. He's very good. But that's a great price on Sovereignty, on Sierra Leone. Let me know what you think. Let's have a healthy discussion. Fierceness, well, that's one of my guys, right? I've always loved this horse. I picked him in the Derby. Didn't run well that day, but has turned the table for sure by running second in last year's Classic, and he's installed at 6-1. So both him and Sierra Leone out in Vegas in advanced wagering, trained by Todd Pletcher, is 6-1. That's one of my guys. Y'all know I love me some fierceness. And then the Reporter Horse, right? Oh, extra, extra. Let's read all about the Reporter Horse. Well, the Reporter Horse. It's 10-1. Now, y'all know I've been banging on them, but at 10-1, I don't know. They might get the Speed King to bet the Reporter Horse. Well, I mean, he danced every dance, right? All, the Triple Crown and the Haskell, and I think he won the PA Derby or whatever it was over there, and 10-1. So obviously he's a top contender. The old journalist. And here is a public favorite. He finally got it done. Oh, Baeza. Well, Baeza is 10-1, so both him and journalists are 10-1. That was John Sheriff is doing the conditioning. Those are awfully good prices on top quality horses. So again, I don't know why we got to take an underlay in this race, but again, as we get closer and the field shapes up and the proper post positions are drawn and horses are in and the horses that are out, we can get a better thing. But again, Baeza should be in and will be in, and it'll be a good price. Right now, he's currently 10-1 out there in Vegas. And the next horse, well, it's another Pletcher. Here's a side note about Pletcher. Pletcher could have 4 horses in this year. Fierceness, Mind Frame, Antiquarian, and Lock. Okay, so when you think of probabilities, remember Todd Pletcher could have a little edge here if he gets all 4 of these horses in. And 3 of them are very, very good. Obviously, Fierceness and Mind Frame, who had some trouble. I think he lost a rider in the last race. Mind Frame is really, really good horse. And of course, Antiquarian isn't a bad horse either, and we all know about Lock. So just remember, Pletcher has 4 in here. Okay? Or possible. Okay, we don't know yet, but possible. Okay, but Mind Frame is installed at 10-1, just like Baeza and Journalism. That's a square price for him. And then the horse from Japan, y'all, Forever Young. Tell me what you think about him, right? I think he ran 3rd last year in the Classic, if my memory serves me properly. But he's going to probably draw a gate as well. And we talked about the Pletcher, other horse, Antiquarian, right, who's installed at Westgate at 25-1 and over at Caesar at 12-1. Okay, I have to look at his past performances and his internal running like that on my database to see how he lines up with these, but it looks like he's going to get in, and he's a big price out there in Vegas. And then Nevada Beach. Well, I don't know that horse. I don't know the line on him, but the horse is, like the 8th or 9th favorite at 25-1 for Bobby Baffert. Nevada Beach. Let's have some discussion about him. Nisos. Now, that's a Bob Baffert horse I thought was going to be extremely good, and he is extremely good. And by the way, he's a California horse, and the Breeders' Cup is out at Del Mar where the turf meets the surf. So again, Nisos, 25-1. That is awfully good. And of course, Full Serrano is 28-1 out at the morning line out there at Caesar. Who else? Hill Road looked like he's going to get in. Chad Brown. Lexor Cafe. We all know him from last year, coming from overseas, over from Japan. White Arbario. Again, Saffie Joseph is doing the condition, not Dutrow Jr. Saffie's been hot all year. Hey, White Arbario is 33-1 currently out in Vegas at Caesars. And then my boy, Sandman, right? Trained by my boy Mark Cassie, 35-1. Hey, you can put a flyer on a couple of these horses. If you don't think they're dead winners or horses you really like, hey, at these odds, you can put $2 on them, a flyer, and like that. Highland Falls, of course, that's a Godolphin runner at 40-1 at Westgate, 33-1 out at Caesars. That's trained by Brad Cox. And Hit Show, remember I had Hit Show over in Dubai at that huge price at 42-1. He's 40-1 for sure. And then you got East Avenue that's threatening to get in. Don't think he's nominated to get in, or at least winning you in. We know that ain't the case. And then Locke, we talked about the fourth Pletcher horse that may sneak in for sure. And Citizen Bull, another Bobby Baffert runner. And then Magnitude, my boy Asmussen at Magnitude. I think that horse could draw in. He's 60 to 1. And then there's Mystic Dan, okay? He's showing back up. And then Final Gambit like that. Goal Oriented is listed to get in. Disarm. So again, a lot of these won't go in for sure. So let's talk about which one of your favorite classic horses that is in this year. And then if you want to discuss some of the classics you've seen in the past, I seen Tiz Now win out at Belmont right after 9/11. That was awesome. I had Albert the Great that day, Tracy Farmer's horse. So again, let's talk Breeders' Cup Classic. Let's talk some of the probables. We know the 5 or 6 sure enough's going to get in. The Sovereignties, the Sierra Leones, the Fierceness, the Journalisms, the Biazas, the Mind Frames, and Forever Young. So let's have a healthy discussion. These are the probables that can get in. As we get closer, we'll draw it closer. And of course, when the entries are drawn, I'll do my top 10 throwouts. No, he didn't. I'll throw out 10 of them. No doubt about it. My name is Wayne Bolden. I'm the Speed King, cranking up for the Breeders' Cup. All of the great races in 21 days, 24 days. A lot of work to do in front of us. We're looking forward to this year's Breeders' Cup. This may be the best classic that I can remember where the field is 8 or 9 deep and the value is going to be there. Once you get past Sovereignty, odds-wise, you're going to get value with everything else. So let's have a healthy sneak peek at this year's classic. What's your thought? Who are you leaning towards until you get your past performances? What is your thoughts? Let's have a healthy and most of all classy discussion as we move forward in 3.5 weeks. My name is Wayne Bolden. Y'all know I'm not telling you I'm picking Fierceness now. But I always had a weakness for him, and obviously the Godolphin horse. But I have to wait until the field comes together and handicap just like you fine folks. My name is Wayne Bolden. You said that already, Speed King. Fierceness is tough. He's tough. Sierra Leone 6 to 1 already on the morning line. That is awfully good for a horse that's already won the Breeders' Cup, and he's defending his title. That's awfully good. Stay classy.